Marietta College. $1,200 of your closest friends across 100 acres. This is home.
A widespread confusion over an Elon Musk backed order.
And a planetary parade.
We'll find out if we'll get some warmer weather for this week. Stay with us. WCMO NewsCenter 15 starts now. Hello and welcome to today's edition of WCMO NewsCenter 15. I'm Evie Gravelin.
And I'm Zachary Simpkins, topping our news today.
Biotech entrepreneur and former GOP presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy has launched his campaign for Ohio governor. The 39-year-old, known for his ties to Donald Trump, promises work requirements for Medicaid, merit-based pay for educators, and eliminating income and proper taxes. He faces a competitive Republican primary to replace term-limited Governor Mike DeWine. Ramaswamy aims to revive Ohio's economy, saying, "I believe deep in my bones that Ohio can lead the way again." While he has secured key endorsements, Trump has yet to formally back a candidate.
Over 1,000 musicians, including Annie Lennox, Kate Bush, and Damon Albarn, have released a silent album titled "Is This What We Want?", protesting UK copyright laws changes that could allow AI companies to use artists' work without permission. Critics argue that requiring creators to opt out is unrealistic and threatens their livelihood. Kate Bush warned, "In the music of the future, will our voices go unheard?" The UK government insists no final decision has been made. Meanwhile, artists including Paul McCartney and Dua Lipa have launched the Make It Fair campaign, urging the public to oppose the changes.
It's been a warmer week.
Let's see if early spring heat will continue throughout the weekend.
Landon is here with the current conditions. What's going on outside, Landon?
Well, Evie, right now we're having a little bit of a drizzle in terms of rain, but it's not very heavy downpour, and we're still experiencing not extremely warm temperatures, but right now it feels like about 42 outside. The UV index is at a relatively low level, as is the pollen count, with a fair 22 level of air quality, and with the rain, the pollen count's going to get even lower, no doubt. The winds are running around the west at 10 miles per hour. The humidity is roughly 67%. Sun rose about 1 after 7 this morning and should be setting about 15 or 16 after 6 this evening. So good news. We've continued to experience more spring-like warm weather throughout this past week and this current week, and we'll also be experiencing some more into the next week. However, before we get there, this weekend we're going to be experiencing a bit of a cool up. How much is that going to affect our weekend? We'll talk about that later on when I return for the 5-day forecast. But until then, back to you guys at the desk.
So, As we see here, Musk-backed order required. Actually, let's switch that up. U.S. government workers faced widespread confusion after an Elon Musk-backed order required them to list their past week's work or face termination. While the office or personnel management later said responses were voluntary, President Trump insisted non-compliance meant being sort of semi-fired. Some agencies, including Defense and the FBI, told employees to ignore the directive, leading to mixed messages. Musk doubled down, saying failure to respond a second time will result in termination. Federal workers' unions have since sued to block the mandate as uncertainty continues across agencies.
Skywatchers can cast a rare planetary parade this week, with 7 planets, Mars, Jupiter, Uranus, Venus, Neptune, Mercury, and Saturn visible in the evening sky. This will be the last time that they align so clearly until 2040. The best viewing times are just after sunset from Tuesday to Friday. Venus and Jupiter will be the easiest to spot, while Mars will have a reddish hue. There's a rare opportunity to have 7 planets in a convenient place for you to look for them, says the astronomer Dr. Edward Bloomer. A clear view of the horizon and minimal light pollution will help, with clearer skies expected later in the week.
Coming up, thieves targeting freight trains containing Nike shoes.
And we'll hear about a false alarm shelter in place at Muskingum University.
We'll have these stories and more. Stay with us.
At Marietta College, teamwork goes beyond athletics. At Marietta, we promote individuality, creativity, and resilience. Whoever you are, wherever you're from, we are Pile Nation. This is the time, this is the place. We are pioneers. We are Marietta College.
Hey, this is Kevin Love from the Cleveland Cavaliers. Right now, many of us feel anxious. Mindfulness can help you ease those feelings. My nonprofit is partnering with Headspace to offer free content to help you stress less. Head to kevinlovefund.org/headspace.
Here's to the straggly ones, the first ones. Hey, I look good with this ones. The black, brown, red, and gray ones. The itchy ones. The ones grown by Dad. The ones grown for Dad. The I nearly didn't do it this year ones. And the absolutely filthy ones. They all raise awareness, raise funds, start conversations, and save lives. Because whatever you grow will save a bro. Learn more at Movember.com.
A shelter in place was ordered at Muskingum University on Monday night due to a report of an active shooter and hostage situation in Patton Hall. A dispute occurred between the 2 college students earlier that day, leading students to talk among themselves. A professor at the college overheard the word gun and hostage situation from a student, which encouraged the professor to take 911 call. The police arrived around 7 p.m. and conducted their search. After investigation, it was determined that luckily there was no shooter or hostage situation and no one experienced any physical harm.
New Nike shoes have yet to reach the shelves, yet some people already have them. Thieves have targeted multiple freight trains running through California and Arizona, stealing more than $2 million worth of new Nike sneakers that have not reached market. There have been at least 10 trains targeted in the Mojave Desert since March of 2024 that authorities are still investigating. All but one of the reported heists involved the Nike shoes. Suspects from a January 13th heist were caught with the help of tracking devices placed in manufacturing.
Lawmakers in West Virginia's House Health and Human Resources Committee voted down a proposal to repeal the state's Certificate of Need program, also known as CON, with a 12-13 vote on House bill in 2007. The bill aimed to eliminate the CON and the state health care authority. There was a campaign to eliminate CON, arguing that it would encourage competition and improve the state's health care system, which already ranks poorly. Opponents argue that repealing CON could harm the state's critical access to hospitals and already exist health care challenges. This has been the third attempt overall to repeal CON.
Starbucks plans to lay off over 1,100 corporate employees as the new chairman and CEO, Brian Nicole, streamlines operations. A letter was sent to employed February 24th informing them if they were going to be laid off by midday February 25th. Baristas, roasting, and warehouse staff were not affected or included in these layoffs. Nicole explains that the company just needed to reduce complexity and to ensure that all work is overseen by someone who can make decisions. Starbucks has not been the only company to announce a sudden amount of layoffs. Southwest Airlines last week eliminated 15% of its corporate workers, and Bridgestone Americas closed a plant, laying off 700 workers.
When we return, Real Talk with Haley Lanham celebrates the 10-year anniversary of Arizona's Great Llama Escape.
And we'll have details on Matt Damon's next huge project.
By bus, plane, or freight train, we'll have a cold weekend ahead of us. But how cold will it get? Stay tuned for the 5-day forecast after the break.
When kids need medical care, they face life-changing experiences. They miss out on the things that make being a kid fun. Starlight Children's Foundation programs entertain and inspire hospitalized kids. Learn more at starlight.org.
There's a place for everyone at Marietta College. Our place is here as esports competitors. This is Marietta College Esports.
Welcome back to WCMO NewsCenter 15. I've been waiting for this week for a long time and trying to figure out a way to celebrate the 10-year anniversary of the great escape of the 2 therapy llamas in Arizona.
Me too. Here are the details from Haley Lanham with her Real Talk segment.
Welcome back to Real Talk with Haley. Today we'll be taking a glimpse of what is trending in the U.S. this week. So first, yesterday was the 10-year anniversary of some serious llama drama. 2 therapy llamas, Lainey and Kanita, escaped during a visit to an assisted living facility in suburban Phoenix. It led to a wild 2-hour pursuit by their handlers, residents, and sheriff's deputies. Some landscapers in a pickup truck eventually managed to lasso them. Major news networks around the world ate this up, broadcasting the llamas on the lam live. Unfortunately, Lainey died from an illness 3 years after the chase. And a legendary actor is suiting up for the TV version of the Harry Potter series. John Lithgow told Screen Rant he has accepted the role of Albus Dumbledore in HBO's upcoming adaptation of the J.K. Rowling's books. The 79-year-old Emmy winner succeeds Richard Harris and Michael Gambon, who played Dumbledore in the films. Filming of this series is scheduled to start this summer. HBO officials have not commented on Lithgow's apparent hiring, saying they, quote, will only confirm details as we finalize deals. And ice rescues in New York are not uncommon this time of year, but this time it was a little bit out of the ordinary. Officers from the Saratoga Springs Police Department were called to save a horse that fell into the water of an icy pond. The horse, named Sly, was in real danger of freezing to death if not pulled to safety. 3 officers and the horse's owner managed to get the horse out of the water, and as you can see, it was not easy. Once out of the water, Sly soon got to his feet and walked away with a little bit of help. And finally, some great news for you breakfast lovers, especially the ones at McDonald's who love the Egg McMuffin. The chain has announced even with the national egg shortage, you will not have to pay extra for any items that have eggs. The restaurant also announced if you use the McDonald's app on March 2nd, you can get an Egg McMuffin or one with sausage for just $1. This year, the famous Egg McMuffin is celebrating 50 years on the restaurant's menu since it launched back in 1975. That'll do it for What is Trending this week. Thank you for joining me again, and I will see you real soon next Thursday.
That was great. Thank you so much, Haley. I can't wait to see Real Talk again next week. But for now, let's move on to movie news. An Oscar-winning filmmaker is taking on a huge, iconic story.
And the Native American life is the focus of the 2 new documentaries.
Here's Landon with the Hollywood Minute.
Thanks, Evie. Well, first off, Matt Damon's leads an all-star cast in Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. The 2 are reuniting after Oppenheimer's huge success. We don't have a lot of details at this time, but Universal Pictures released this photo of Damon in the lead role of Odysseus. The star-studded cast also includes Robert Pattinson, Lupita Nyong'o, Anne Hathaway, Charlize Theron, Tom Holland, and Zendaya. The adaptation of Homer's classic tale is due in theaters in July of 2026. In other news, documentary lovers will have 2 new ones that will focus on Native Americans. One, known as Trinity, looks at the effects of the first nuclear tests on the Navajo Nation and other nearby residents, with first-person accounts by witnesses, local miners, and those who just lived downwind of the blast. The other, known as Without Arrows, tracks a Lakota family over 13 years. It focuses on the struggle to survive and the vibrancy of the culture they hope to pass on to future generations. Both documentaries are available now on DVD and video-on-demand platforms. Until then, that's all I've got for the world of Hollywood. I'm Landon Santini. See you in a few minutes for the 5-day forecast.
Thanks, Landon. Winter's coming to an end with warmer weather on the horizon.
I wonder if the temperatures will be better next week.
Well, Landon is here with the details. And Landon, what can we expect for Mother Nature for the rest of the week?
Well, Evie, one thing you can definitely expect, as I mentioned before, is cooler temperatures. As you can see, today we're dealing with the last bit of precipitation with a bit of a drizzle of rain outside, but most of that rain has pushed off to the eastern part of the country, going past the 2 Virginia states, West Virginia and Virginia, going into Maryland, and you can see that much more clearly as we take a look at our regional map. Up north in our neighboring country of Canada, they've got a much harsher winter to deal with because, you know, they're farther north, so their winter's not going to be over quite yet. But it looks like in the Mid-Ohio Valley, things are warming up for us. They have been for this and the last week now. But it's not going to feel like that going into the next couple days, because as we take a look at the 5-day forecast, you can see that when we get to Saturday, things will start cooling down. But we're not going to notice that immediately tomorrow. We've still got some lingering cloudy weather with an expected high of 53. And then those colder temperatures I've been frequently mentioning are going to start taking into effect on Saturday with an expected high of 37 and a mix of rain and snowy conditions. Although we'll get a break from that for the churchgoers on Sunday with an expected high of 34 and sunny conditions. And then when we begin the next work week on Monday, the temperatures will start to climb back up again to what they've been over the last few weeks with an expected high of 43, cloudy conditions. And that will continue on into, those cloudy conditions will continue on into Tuesday as the temperatures rise even further up to 55 degrees. So, yeah, as February comes to an end and March begins, we'll have possibly one last bit of lingering winter temperatures to deal with here in the Mid-Ohio Valley. But after this weekend's over and done with, I would highly recommend you and your folks start thinking about plans to get ready for spring. and we'll talk more about that in the coming weeks. But until then, back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Landon. When we come back, Denise will join us with an update from the world of sports.
See you in a few.
James Brown and Bill Cowher welcoming you back to the Midnight Snack Run.
This is one tricky obstacle course.
He's reaching, but he pushes it away. He's approaching a plate of iced cookies. He blows right by him.
Oh, the fridge.
Looks like he's headed for the soda. Wait, he jukes left, grabs the water bottle.
Now he's just got to get out of there.
Look what dropped from the sky.
Don't do it, Dennis. That's the way you execute a midnight snack run.
Stand Up to Cancer and Rally want you to reduce your risk for cancer.
Go to takeahealthystand.org.
The next disaster is coming. The time to get ready is now. Make a plan. Choose meetup locations and keep a contact list. Build a kit with food and water. Don't forget your pets. Keep extra medicine on hand. Make copies of key documents and keep them somewhere safe. Stay informed, learn about local hazards, and sign up for alerts. Be ready. Learn more at americares.org/sendusin.
Thanks for staying with us. Joining us now for sports is Denise.
Denise, tell us about it.
Luka Doncic recorded 19 points, 15 rebounds, and 12 assists in his first game against the Mavericks since being traded to the Lakers for Anthony Davis. Though he struggled with his shot, Doncic's playmaking helped lead the Lakers to 170-99 win. LeBron James scored 27 points, including 16 in the fourth quarter, while Kyrie Irving had 35 for Dallas. The emotional night included a tribute video for Davis, who missed the game with an injury. Doncic's triple-double marked the 81st of his career, ranking 7th in NBA history. The Marietta College women's lacrosse team dominated Franciscan University with an 18-3 victory Wednesday night, marking the first career win for new head coach Lindsay Riho. The Pioneers stormed to a 10-0 lead early and never looked back, leading 16-1 by the fourth quarter. Hope Adams and Mallory Wiles led the offense with 4 goals each. Goalkeepers Abby May and Tessa Labrasciano combined for 9 saves. Marietta, now 1-2, will host Bethany College on Saturday at 1 p.m. for their senior day game. The Marietta College men's lacrosse team fell to Chatham University 12-9 on Wednesday night, dropping to 2-1 on the season. The Pioneers fought back from an early deficit but couldn't close the gap. Nate Neal and Aiden Evans led Marietta with 3 goals each, while goalie James Chipolone made 18 saves despite a late push in the fourth quarter. Chatham secured the win. Head coach Ben Sakuma emphasized learning from the loss. Marietta now hits the road for a matchup against Franciscan University on Saturday at 1 p.m. Trey Holloman's stunning 65-foot buzzer beater lifted number 8 Michigan State to a 58-55 win over number 16 Maryland, giving the Spartans a half-game lead atop the Big Ten. Despite struggling offensively, Holloman nailed the miraculous shot after Maryland's Jacoby Gillespie missed a potential game winner. Coach Tom Izzo credited the team's practice of half-court shots, while Maryland's Kevin Willard could only shake his head at the improbable finish. The victory keeps Michigan State's conference title hopes alive in dramatic fashion. That's all I have for today. I'm Denise Wolfter. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Denise. So, back at the desk, we are with Landon, and for our last look at our forecast.
To sum it up, in combination of the rain that's recently passed through the Mid-Ohio Valley and the little bit of rain we're having today, it's going to cause things to cool down as we get into the weekend on Saturday, cooling down to about 34, 35 for both Saturday and Sunday with a wintry mix of rain and snow on Saturday. But when we begin the next work week on Monday, the first full week of March, things will start warming up back to the temperatures we've been experiencing over the last 2 weeks.
Thank you, Landon, and that's the time that we have for today. For all of us here at WCMO NewsCenter 15, Marietta College Broadcasting. Thanks again for joining us. You can catch us Thursdays at noon 30 and 6:30 during most weeks of the semester, or you can search for WCMO Television on YouTube.com. See you next time. We hope you have a nice day.